What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we've got a 2-1-4-1-2, a tactic that scores over 5.5 goals a game and absolutely dominated Europe in immense fashion. If you do enjoy the tactics, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Once again, if you want to show any more support to this channel, you can turn on that notification bell. It's completely free and you'll never miss another upload. Let's get into it, because this tactic might be one of the weirdest but best you've ever seen this year. But to go ahead and make this tactic, we are simply going to go over and create your own style, because there's nothing quite like it. We're going to load in any formation because it's going to change so much. There's nothing like it in the game, and by the way, all based off a positive mentality. Firstly, to showcase what I actually done with this default tactic, again today we've got 3 variants for you, so be sure to stick around, because this one you do need to change a few things from team to team. But with this tactic, we are going to be doing an absolute immense job with Manchester City winning the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, unfortunately not the Champions League, but we do lift that Premier Division title, and yeah, we absolutely cooked in that regard. As you can see, 186 goals being scored, over 1,000 shots, actually also had the most possession, so that's a real fascinating stat line to bring home. Defensively, we're not going to rank 1 because we've got 2 centre-backs, so that's just pretty common sense, but we outscored everyone and got the job done in a very convincing manner. Now, the data hub is going to be 4.89 goals per game. Now, I will say this is not the best we managed to achieve, so that says something. It's still incredible. Nearly 5 goals a game. Yes, we're conceding over a goal a game. Does it matter? Not at all. We're scoring so many goals, I couldn't care less. 88% pass completion and just 0.8 shy of 27 shots a match. And the tactic somewhat looks like this. It is very different, but this is the overall shape. I will say, if you want to get access to all 3 of the tactics you see today, you want them on mobile, you want them on console, you want the rebuild files, the rebuild tactic files, you want priority and everything, you want everything early, one-on-one tactical help and access to this month's giveaway, which is quite a big prize. You can come over and check out the Patreon in the link below, where you, that is right, you can be part of a team of 4,850 people. So come on over and get involved. But let's go through and talk through these player roles. So I've kept it humble in goal, because at the end of the day, the tactic's wild, so we're going to go pretty basic when it comes to the goalkeeper. A simple goalkeeper on defend, and following on that simple pattern is going to be a default central defender followed by another central defender. Now, you might be thinking, Josh, hang on, why are they not on stay wider? And I'm going to explain it as we build up the tactic, and hopefully it'll make sense, because there's no reason to have them on stay wider. It defended very well considering we have 2 centre-backs, so nothing to really stress about, because ahead of them is going to be what you may have expected. If you saw it coming, leave a like on the video. A half-back on defend who's going to slot back and help form a back 3. So on paper, it is a 2-back, so we're not breaking any rules, but he is going to drop back and obviously fill in a void in that back line. So a very much needed role. Now, when it comes to the wingers, they are going to be identical, and we've kept it quite mirrored, because it's quite a hard tactic to get to work, so you can't have anything too crazy going on when it comes to the player roles. So wingers on support, and they are both going to share some instructions. Now, out of possession, these wingers are actually going to help and almost act as very aggressive wing-backs. So they will defend to a level, which is why there's not necessarily a certain need to have stay wider on the centre-backs. We play just fine the way that it is. So the wingers are going to consist of these instructions. Both on support, on get further forwards, we'll have them on set to close down more and also tackle harder. Now, the idea and the concept behind these wingers is to purely just get stuck into the game, put a challenge in, close down more, and when they've got the ball, run with it. We rely on them making really good runs. They provide majority of the width in this entire tactic, so they have to be performing to the highest level they potentially can. Now, on the left-hand side of the midfield, we are going to have a box-to-box on support, and he's going to have one instruction again. I will say again, it's simplicity. As simple as that. You can't have tons and tons of instructions with a tactic like this, because especially in the midfield, if you have them, you know, everyone getting forwards, roaming different channels, it will crumble. So you need to keep it quite basic. And next to him, we are going to go with a central midfield player on support, and he has got some instructions, and this is the only player you will see really doing this. He is going to be roaming about. So him and the attacking midfield player, I don't mind roaming, because you sort of need some movement in the midfield. With that box-to-box, just don't let him roam. Keep him channeled, keep him where he should be, going up and down, doing nothing too crazy. So we're going to have roam. We're also going to have cross less. I don't really want him crossing the ball. We're going to have him moving into the channels and also tackle harder. So this is actually a very, very, very nice set. So actually, I did say they're not roaming with the box to box. By default, he does do that. I meant move into the channels. Do not have that on as well. So you have this player here who will roam to an extent, but usually will be around about this part of the pitch when it comes to moving up the pitch, and he will come back and help defend and will almost fill that void when the halfback does drop in. The central midfield player next to him, of course, is designed to roam, link up play, etc, etc, so that is to be expected. But going up the pitch is where things get pretty tasty. The attacking midfield player has got some instructions, and he's a bit of a risk taker, so we're going to have take more risks, we're going to have move into the channels, we're also going to have close down more, and also tackle harder. So a very, very, very attacking minded, as he should be, attacking midfield player that is going to get a ton of assists and provide for these two aggressive goal scorer machines that simply scored so many goals it was unbelievable. Yes, we had Mbappe and we had Rodrigo when he was playing up front, but genuinely, whoever you've got up front, you've got an attacking midfield player, wingers, box to boxers, providing these two, they're going to score your goals. Let's go to the team instructions. So again, the clean slate on the positive, just to clarify that, we of course are going to provide some width when it comes to that attacking width, because there's virtually none in the tactic otherwise apart from them wingers. When it comes to playing out from the back, we are going to do it despite not having ball playing defenders as roles. We still want to make sure we are sensible and playing it out from the back, because we've got a stacked midfield. All the centre back needs to do is make one pass to the half back, who can then progress it up the pitch, nice and simple. It's an aggressive tactic, so the tempo is going to be set to high. Mixed crosses are absolutely key. We are going to be more expressive, and as for the passing, well, the passing is going to be set to shorter, so not direct, nice and short passing options. In transition, pretty basic, probably to be expected. Counter press and counter while playing to the centre back and rolling the ball out. Again, we haven't really got full back, so make sure you are playing to the centre backs only. And lastly, out of possession, we're going bold, we're going attacking. A much higher defensive line and a maxed out trigger press. Now that is going to give you an immaculate 2-1-4-1-2, and I will say the results we got with Man City were absolutely incredible. We did go over and test with Real Madrid, where we did get a few more goals, which is what I'm trying to show to you, because I'm amazed by the amount of goals we got with them two up front. So let's go over to a slightly even more attacking version, but first, how good did that actually do? Well, trust me, Real Madrid cooked. So with Real Madrid, we pretty much took over world football, to put it bluntly. I mean, we win the Spanish Super Cup, the Spanish Cup, the UEFA Super Cup. We paced, not Real Madrid, paced Liverpool in the Champions League final 3-1, and we batter everyone in the Spanish First Division, only losing one game. And Mbappe and Rodrigo playing up front as a partnership should be illegal. 209 goals in the league, over 1,000 shots, nearly a perfect 2.92, nearly a perfect free rate in there when it comes to points per game. Possession, we dominate that as well with 65%. This is a tactic you probably would not expect to have a lot of the ball. I've made it have a lot of the ball in an attacking variant. The data hub, get ready, 5.5 goals a game, only 0.97 conceded, and I will say only, although it is nearly a goal a game, we have two centre-backs, so that's incredible. Over 27 shots a match, a great pass completion, and not a bad tackle-win ratio either. That tactic is absolutely nuts. Let's go and break it down. Again, the idea behind this tactic was to keep that 2-1-4-1-2. It has to be that shape, but we have made it a little bit more attacking, so the goalkeeper does remain the same. We are now going to have two ball-playing defenders, so it shows the difference, having a bit more of a confident player, or a confident player role, should I say. So if you have got two good ball-playing defenders, it does work really, really well. The halfback has to remain the same. The box-to-box also has to remain the same. Other things can change. So, for example, the centre midfield now goes on to attack, on cross less often, roam, move into channels, and also get further forwards. And both of the wingers are both now set to attack on run wide, roam, close down more, and tackle harder. So a big, big, big change in the wingers, which made all the difference. The AM is going to be exactly the same. The advanced forwards also do remain exactly the same. So the real big change is the wingers. Other than that, obviously made up through the team instructions we are going to go through in a second, but I cannot actually put a big enough statement on the switch up in having two ball playing defenders. We were so much more confident and quicker at playing it out from the back. So if you've got the facilities to do it, make sure you're doing it. So again, the clean slate this time set to attacking, so we have gone one up as well, which of course does help when it comes to scoring goals. We are going to go up to fairly wide, we're going to pass the ball into the space, and we are also going to hit play out from the back. So again, a very consistent way of playing football, and what I will say is this did work probably a little bit better with the two ball playing defenders. Not that it didn't with the central defenders, but when you've got players tailored to playing out from the back, it does work really, really well. The tempo is also going to go all the way up to higher. Again, as to be expected, an aggressive tactic. This remains the same, but we've added run at defence and also be more expressive. So again, making the tactic somehow even more attacking. We then go over, hit them with a counter press, hit them with a counter, to distribute quickly and play into the centre backs while rolling the ball out. I didn't really want to change how the distribution was done because we've got two centre backs. I don't want to take too many risks. So that's why we've done it like that, nice and simple. And out of possession, it couldn't really get much more attacking than the default. So it is going to be almost a dead replica. That is going to be a tactic which is going to absolutely cook if you want even more goals. Now I have gone over into the effort to make you a more slightly defensive one, which is this one, the 2-1-4-1-2 def, which is designed for still be very attacking. It is a 2-1-4-1-2. It's got to be an attacking tactic, but you can switch to this if you are trying to defend out the game in the same formation. Now, I wouldn't recommend you play an entire season with this, being honest, but you can switch to this mid-game, and with these defensive wingers, you're going to be absolutely rock solid at the back. The goalkeeper remains the same. We go back to central defenders. The halfback comes in. The box-to-box now on pass it shorter and tackle harder. The CM on defend, on pass it shorter and tackle harder. Both of the defensive wingers simply on the default. This is going to defend almost as a block 4. Ridiculously hard to break down. The AM on support, on pass it shorter, hold up the ball, roam, move into the channels, close down more, and also tackle harder. And both of the advanced forwards are going to remain the same because I want them to still be the goal scoring talismans. So again, it is going to be the clean slate, still on the positive. We did not go anywhere near away from that really because I still want to have something about us as a team. And we leave it in the middle for this one. So because we're not as attacking, we can be a little bit more compact, especially with them defensive wingers, help defending centrally as well. We are going to have it on standard. We're going to go keep this tempo the way that it is. The passing drops down by 1. Again, this is not everyone's cup of tea because some people think it's a bit negative, but I would time waste if you've got them. Play for my set pieces as well. Anything to run the clock down because defending with a tactic like this isn't traditional, is it? But it can be done, but make sure you are time wasting. In transition, we're simply going to counter press. When we've got the ball, we're not going to hold the shape. We're not going to counter. We're going to leave it nice and blank. And we are going to play to the centre backs while rolling the ball out. Some see it as overkill. I personally don't, but you can also add slow pace down. I probably would, but just in the case that you won't, I'll leave it blank. But if you're listening to me at all, I'll probably have it on. And lastly, out of possession, we are of course going to maintain the high press, but nowhere near a much higher line. We're going to drop down to a standard line, all while maxing out that trigger press. Also, we also did have a season with Ajax, which I used this tactic for around about half the games with. I wouldn't recommend going into every game with it, but we done really well. We were scoring lots of goals, and I know Ajax are a very, very strong team. We win the league and the Conference League. I'm going to leave it in there for those of you that are interested in seeing that result as well. But as a general rule, guys, I would genuinely give this tactic a go. It absolutely cooks. If you have enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Again, if you want to unlock access to all 3 of these tactics, you can do so by coming over and joining the Patreon, where you get over 13 perks, including mobile tactics, console tactics, and so much more. I'll see you over there. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be seeing you in the next one.